The ocean has always been a symbol of beauty, mystery, and power, but within its depths lies a terrifying force that can change the world in a matter of moments. Tsunamis, often called tidal waves though they have nothing to do with tides, are among the most unstoppable and devastating natural disasters known to humankind. A tsunami is not just a giant wave, it is a series of massive waves triggered by sudden disturbances in or near the ocean, most often caused by underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or even the impact of a meteor. Unlike ordinary waves that are formed by wind, a tsunami carries the full weight of the ocean's energy, traveling across vast distances at unimaginable speeds, capable of wiping out entire coastlines when it finally crashes onto land. To truly understand this unstoppable force, we must dive into the facts, history, and science that make tsunamis one of the deadliest phenomena on Earth. When an earthquake occurs beneath the seafloor, tectonic plates suddenly shift, releasing enormous amounts of energy. This violent movement displaces the water above, creating ripples that expand outward in every direction. What is shocking is how fast these waves can travel. In the open ocean, a tsunami wave may only be a few feet high on the surface, barely noticeable to passing ships, but beneath that calm appearance it can travel at speeds of up to 500 to 600 miles per hour, the speed of a jet airliner. Imagine a wall of water silently racing across the ocean at that speed, carrying enough energy to destroy cities thousands of miles away from its origin. It is this deceptive nature of tsunamis that makes them so dangerous, because people often have no idea what is approaching until it is too late. One of the most devastating tsunamis in recorded history struck on December 26, 2004, in the Indian Ocean. Triggered by a magnitude 9.1 undersea earthquake off the coast of Sumatra, the waves radiated outward across the ocean basin. Within hours, countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, and even as far as Africa were hit. The destruction was unimaginable. Entire villages were erased from the map, coastlines were transformed, and the death toll surpassed 230,000 people. It remains one of the deadliest natural disasters in human history. Survivors recall the terrifying sight of the ocean withdrawing rapidly, exposing the seafloor and leaving fish flopping on the sand, only for a monstrous wall of water to return moments later, swallowing everything in its path. The Indian Ocean tsunami became a grim reminder of how small humanity truly is in the face of nature's wrath. But this was not the only catastrophic tsunami. Japan has also faced the fury of these unstoppable waves. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake off the coast of Tohoku triggered a tsunami that struck Japan's northeastern shoreline. The waves reached heights of over 40 meters in some areas, swallowing towns, destroying infrastructure, and causing one of the worst nuclear disasters in history at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant. The images of cars, homes, and entire buildings being carried away like toys shocked the world. Nearly 20,000 lives were lost, and the scars remain to this day. This disaster highlighted not only the destructive power of tsunamis, but also their ability to create cascading crises that affect energy, the environment, and human survival. Tsunamis are not modern phenomena. They have been part of Earth's story for millennia. In 1883, the eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia unleashed one of the loudest sounds ever recorded in history, heard thousands of miles away. The explosion caused colossal tsunamis that killed over 36,000 people. The waves traveled across the Indian Ocean, and some were reported to have circled the globe multiple times. Ancient records also tell us about the destruction of coastal civilizations. In 1755, Lisbon, Portugal, was devastated by a massive earthquake followed by a tsunami that wiped out tens of thousands of lives. The sheer reach and power of these waves show that no coastline is truly safe. The science of tsunamis reveals fascinating and terrifying truths. In the deep ocean, the wave height is usually less than a meter, meaning ships and submarines hardly feel them. But as the waves approach shallow coastal waters, something dramatic happens. The water slows down due to friction with the seafloor, but the energy remains constant, forcing the wave to grow taller and taller. This is why a seemingly harmless ripple in the open ocean can transform into a towering wall of water that can reach 100 feet or more near the shore. Unlike typical surf waves, tsunami waves do not break gracefully. Instead, they surge inland like a fast-moving flood, carrying cars, trees, houses, and even concrete structures along with them. The sheer weight and momentum of this water can crush everything in its path. Warning signs of a tsunami are subtle but critical. One of the most common natural warnings is the rapid receding of the shoreline. When the sea suddenly withdraws, exposing reefs, rocks, or the seafloor, it often means that a giant wave is building up and is about to return. In 2004, some people recognized this sign and ran inland, saving their lives, while others went down to collect stranded fish, unaware of the deadly wall of water racing toward them. In some countries, early warning systems now use seismic data, buoys, and satellites to detect potential tsunamis and alert populations. But even with modern technology, the window for evacuation can be just minutes. In certain coastal areas, evacuation drills are now as common as fire drills in schools. Beyond the destruction, tsunamis reshape landscapes in ways that can last for centuries. In some cases, entire islands have been split, coastlines have been permanently altered, and fertile farmland has been buried under saltwater, making it unusable for years. After the 2011 Japan tsunami, vast amounts of debris, including cars, furniture, and entire buildings, floated into the Pacific Ocean, drifting across the water for months and even years. Scientists also study how tsunamis can carry marine species from one region to another, attaching themselves to debris and traveling thousands of miles to foreign shores. What makes tsunamis especially frightening is the thought of future megatsunamis, waves so large they could change global history. Some scientists warn about the volcanic island of Cumbre Vieja in the Canary Islands. If a massive landslide were to occur there, it could send a giant tsunami racing across the Atlantic, potentially striking the eastern coast of North America, the Caribbean, and parts of South America. The waves from such an event could be hundreds of feet high, flooding cities like New York, Miami, and Rio de Janeiro. While this scenario is still debated, it is a chilling reminder that our modern cities are just as vulnerable as ancient civilizations. Tsunamis are also linked to cosmic events. If a large enough asteroid were to crash into the ocean, the impact would create waves of unimaginable size, capable of wiping out continents. In fact, many scientists believe that when a giant asteroid hit Earth 66 million years ago, triggering the extinction of the dinosaurs, it also created megatsunamis that swept across the ancient oceans. This means that tsunamis are not just a local or regional threat but a global one, tied to events both on Earth and beyond it. Despite their destructive reputation, tsunamis have also taught humanity valuable lessons about resilience and preparedness. After the 2004 disaster, international efforts led to the creation of improved warning systems, communication networks, and disaster response strategies. Communities began to build evacuation routes, educate citizens, and design coastal defenses. In Japan, seawalls have been constructed, though experts debate whether any man-made structure can truly stand against nature's most powerful waves. The greatest defense remains awareness and preparation. The human stories behind tsunamis are both heartbreaking and inspiring. Survivors describe the terror of hearing the roar of the ocean like a freight train, of seeing walls of water taller than buildings rushing toward them, and of losing everything in an instant. Yet in the aftermath, stories of bravery, unity, and hope also emerge. People come together to rebuild, to mourn, and to prepare for the future. The memory of those who perished becomes a reminder of the fragility of life and the need to respect the immense forces of nature. In the end, tsunamis are a humbling reminder of the balance between humanity and the earth. We build cities, ports, and industries along coastlines because the ocean provides life, trade, and beauty. But the same ocean that sustains us can also take everything away in the blink of an eye. Tsunamis are not evil or intentional. They are simply the result of natural forces far greater than human control. They remind us that for all our technology and progress, we remain vulnerable to the raw, unstoppable power of the planet we call home. The unstoppable force of tsunamis is both terrifying and fascinating. They are silent in the deep ocean, swift as an airplane, towering as mountains near the shore, and as destructive as any weapon humanity has ever created. They carry with them lessons of humility, caution, and respect for nature's might. The best defense we have is awareness, education, and preparedness. For while we cannot stop a tsunami, we can learn to survive it. Each wave in history, from Lisbon to Krakatoa, from Sumatra to Japan, is not only a tragedy, but also a story written in water, reminding us of the fragile line we walk between the land we live on and the ocean that surrounds us. And as long as the earth continues to move, as long as tectonic plates shift and volcanoes erupt, tsunamis will remain an unstoppable force, a testament to the incredible power of nature.